How am I gonna start this? Um, this is the a different format compared to the first video. I wanted to create a series of videos that follow pretty much every project that I put out. This is something that I wanted to do as like a face to face, and I want to just call it open talks. And it'll evolve as I go on, figuring out what exactly I'm gonna what outline it's going to follow, what premise. But I wanted to start with the video breakdown of the project I Quit Chasing My Dreams. That project was lingering in my mind for a couple years. It didn't come to a clear vision until I started actually planning out shots and writing the script. But essentially that video is like just an up to speed of where I am in life, what I've been going through the past few years. And it really starts around 2019 or COVID time. Just, yeah, it's, just a up to speed of what I've been up to and where I'm at, where I'm going towards as I'm like growing and becoming a better creative and actually acting on those thoughts and deciding to actually get up and create after being stagnant for so long. The beginning half of that video was an emphasis on just where the world was, with 2020 being so monumental as far as creativity and social media goes. It's such a huge pivot point of the world, first off, and then just how entertainment is made. We saw such a big change of how content is made, what demand there is, the format, all that stuff. And it keeps growing. There's no way before that. There's no way back to that of a pre-COVID. And I mean, it's such a pivotal time for everyone. Everyone knows where they were at that time. Everyone knows who they were beforehand and who they are now afterwards. And I mean, we're all a byproduct of one of the wildest times in history, if you will. But within that, I wanted to show my how my creativity blossomed during COVID. And, a lot of it came from being cooped up, but also just being curious while the world was locked up, seeing the world just empty, everyone in their rooms on their phones, and where you wouldn't talk to a person in person, you were finally talking to them through the phone, because we were all cooped up. So hashing out hours and hours, day and night, of just ideas that I had and figuring out how to mesh something together that made my creativity go from like a solid 5 to just like an all out 10, where I realized that I have these, endeavors and ideas I want to lean into and feed them. And I mean, when we're seeing this now, where the byproduct, this channel and all this stuff, which it's pretty cool seeing that I can now step in and play the game and be part of it. But yeah, that was the beginning half of the video. It was just like showing where the world was and where my internal creativity was just blossoming. Then it leaned into how life started happening as I got older. Things were happening here and there at home in the personal life, in my mental space. And as I picked up the mantle to try to take on an endeavor, life had a funny way of just telling me no over and over relentlessly, to where, subconsciously just stopped following up every day with my dreams. And that was to make the clothing brand. And so before I knew it, it was months, weeks, months, in over a year before I'd even touched anything about the brand. It just sat stagnant, and it was just costing me money to keep up company, paperwork wise and all that stuff, like keep it alive. And it's just like I need to invest in myself elsewhere first before I can step off and do these, do a project like that. I did that decision and just decided to close that business out. And it, like I emphasized in the video, it really bothered me because to me that was a do or die. And I easily turned around and gave that up. The part in me that was just bothered made me realize that I had something to say, you know, be, before that and within the journey of trying to do the clothing brand. And I wanted to express that at first to the clothing brand, but now I feel more drawn to storytelling, narrative stuff, visuals. So, like these, projects. It's gone from like one sort of media I had an idea for to let me just take on whatever avenue I could get in. And I mean, for where I'm at right now in life, I feel like YouTube is the way to go. It's like the path I want to step on and just see where the ball rolls, see where where that takes me and what happens there. And I'm gonna go into it not really with expectations, but with just like a general goal of like, here's what I want the flow to happen. Whatever numbers follow that, we'll let that happen. But I'm more concerned of I want to tell a story and just say what needs to be said. I want to articulate that the best. So that's where my main focus is approaching YouTube right now. There is a ball rolling. It's going slow just so I can kind of get my wits about me of my planning, and there's so much like structure. I'm a very structured person. So I'm looking for a structure and a day-to-day system to follow and something to fall into so that like there's a quote that goes, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. That emphasizes that when there's no clear sight of you know of a win or of an end of this road, you end up becoming the person that works day in and day out. Now if you give up easily, you fall to that. But if you know that every day you pick at this stone and you have this habit of just working at something day in and day out, you fall to that, and that's your natural, workflow. So that's what I'm trying to get at with this whole creative path, being able to translate something to YouTube, something to TikTok, something to Instagram, and having a system that, supplements those at the right times. For the rest of this video breakdown, the final part just emphasizes it takes a very dark turn, tonally and, footage wise, not much footage, lots of audible, sound design. I wanted to really emphasize where my mental space is and where it's going, my thoughts, my inner dialogue. The best way to translate that was just sound design. I really liked how that came out towards the end. The narrative at the end, right there, of like, I can't rely on perfection, I can only fall to completion. That's something that is within me right now, currently. And that's why I just kind of felt like I think text on the screen really does it, because it's a get it done sort of translation, but not in a sense of get it done lazy, but get it done because we need to say something and we can't just be putting off this project for so long and letting it sit in the hard drives for however much longer, and I'm going to be overthinking what shot should I do, and I need to make this look good and it needs to make sense, and like, no, let's just put something out. So yeah, that's been my, that's pretty much like the whole rundown of the video. But to pivot now, I want to kind of elaborate the plans I had for this channel. In my mind right now, it's going to be like a project and then a open talk, if you will. If I can do more things in between that or other sorts of projects, I'm when those ideas come about, there's so much opportunity. I mean, it's a playground. I can just do whatever really with this, which is pretty cool. But I decided that I needed this because I needed a space to talk. And I have so much things that, ideas and dialogue that I want to say, but they come so quick in and out that I need to like get it. You're seeing me glance over here. It's because I have a notes open because I need everything organized and I need to be able to like not think so then I can just, speak, if you will. But yeah, I'm suffering with very bad social burnout, and that is the byproduct of being around certain type of people that just take from me a lot, that I've been, recognized that recently. I'm in the journey of trying to feed that social side of me again. I used to be very open, outgoing, and I'm just like very closed off now. And I know that when my creativity was blossoming early on, that was when my social side was very huge as well. And while one has gone down, so has the other. I know within me that if I can feed one or the other, both will grow back. And, it's something that I'm looking forward to, being that now that I'm older, I have now these windows and opportunities to meet different people, different crowds. And that's what I'm open to. And I'm just kind of allowing like the universe to just guide me whichever way it does. Amongst this channel, materializing, I'm going to be shaping that. And I'm also shaping other areas of my life, like just internal discipline, fitness, social, like I said, social circles, career, and just general, standing of where I am in life independently before I decide to make any drastic changes. I want to kind of like just be visual, and now that I've become more like aware around me now, like, after dealing with so much disassociation for so long, I feel like it's kind of stress again because now I'm like, well, crap, now I need to figure out what's going on right now. I need to get my wits about me and see what's happening. But as everything is kind of taking shape and materializing, so with this, YouTube channel project, within the shaping areas of my life, I am looking to like getting to the filming side, into filming, you know, practice 100%. It's been an underlying like hobby that I've been chasing for so long. It's been around me for so long that I think it's like, yeah, this is where my life is going towards, and I'm happy about that. I've just naturally been drawn to filmmaking, or like taking photos or, some sort of visual content. So that's where I'm like, what can I do now around me to start, narrowing that path and being like, okay, now let's start focusing on a lifelong path because I'm not getting any younger. So that's something that I'm working towards. To wrap this up here, this final note is, and it says plans for the channel, but also just plans for me. I'm like looking to just push my limits and see exactly how crazy I can go with being somebody that's just in their bedroom making projects in the middle of Florida, couple friends, not really the craziest following or of any sort, but I'm like, who says I can't make something big? I'm just like, I'm going in. I'm gonna literally just gamble on myself and just say like, uh no one said I can't do something crazy, so why not try it? But yeah, I want to push my limits. I just want to push my limits of creativity, building the storytelling, building my communication, and just rounding out overall who I am, personally, privately, and then publicly and online and as a creative. I want those to be rounded in tandem so that I overall, it's just all cohesive. But yeah, this is just kind of like we're getting on our feet right now, and I'll see where this goes. But if you guys like this, anybody that sees this in the void of me talking, I guess just like the video. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, just keep looking out for new stuff. Yeah, I guess that's it.